This is the Ezra breakdown. And we're going to be talking about Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. In a fight that I was so the other way on before I really broke it down. Now, if I was just going off when they made the fight, and if I was just going off like my early who I favored in the fight, it was Caleb Plant all the way. And I still think that the reasons I thought that could happen are still there as far as the Benavidez side and what Benavidez offers to his opponent and the things that you can do with Benavidez and the things that he lacks as far as footwork, cutting off the ring, getting stuck in situations, need to be planted. Not really a great counterpuncher, not really even, to me, a good counterpuncher. Now, he does have physical talents. Like he does have great speed for his size. He does have great power. He does punch combinations. He seems to be durable. That really hasn't been tested too much, but he does have a good motor. He does have a good stamina. He has things that are great about him, but he does also have, I think, giant holes in his game. But doesn't mean that he's not going to be an elite fighter. Or doesn't mean that he's not going to be the best guy at 168. That doesn't mean those things. You can have holes in your game and still be the best fighter at a weight class and still beat guys that have minimum holes in their game, right? But aren't great at another thing, or you are just able to apply your game to them. So that could happen, and that's probably what's going to happen in this fight. That's the way I'm leaning in this fight, because after I reviewed it and I saw tape on it and reviewed their last fights and reviewed the habits they had, Caleb Plant has the right idea to being David Benavidez, right? He has the right idea, but I don't think he could pull it off because he has flaws. He has flaws in his game. And in those flaws, I see that there's a key thing in this fight is that Kieran Davis fought Benavidez, and his trainer was Breadman. And now Breadman has Caleb Plant. And I always thought about when Freddie Roach had Chavez Jr. and he fought Sergio Martinez. And they lost that fight, but Freddie Roach thought he had seen something. And he thought that he had the wrong guy with the right strategy. And when he got Cotto, he really felt that was the right guy to apply strategy. It was his second look at him. And I think that's kind of like what Breadman sees here. Maybe he had the wrong guy the first time, but he had the right strategy, right? And Davis moved around the ring that whole fight. He tried to. He didn't have great leg movement, right? He moved, he didn't have great leg movement. He didn't have great skill with it. He didn't have great IQ to me with the movement. And he couldn't really work off the movement with his offense. And I think that's what he thinks Caleb Plant can do. And I think a lot of people are going to just fight, expecting Caleb Plant to fight that strategy. And that's the strategy he's going to fight, but I don't think he's going to be able to fight it and do the necessary things to actually pull off and win the fight. Now we're going to put the guys up right here. And, Sakib said that it looked like I was, on this video, it was like I was playing with my toys, right? And showing off in a video. I thought that was a good joke. I thought it needed to be repeated in the next video because that is a solid joke. That is what it looks like. I understand that, but I'm gonna keep it going. You know what? Because the last video, got a lot. It got some criticism, right, as far as the look of it and everything like that. But buzz is buzz, and we're just gonna keep going with it. So we have Caleb Plant and you have Dave Benavidez, right? Both orthodox fighters, and Benavidez is gonna look to move in, right? He doesn't necessarily cut the ring off, but he kind of just comes forward. If you remember the Rashid Allis fight versus Villa didn't really cut off the ring. There's some guys that don't cut off the ring. They don't have that capability, or it's just not the way they fight. They kind of just come forward at you, right? And that can also work. It can tire the guy out. If you force a guy to move around a lot and he's not able to circle around the ring and he has to move at a faster pace than he wants to, and you're able to keep it on him, then slowly he slows down and you're getting on him faster. So that's what David Benavidez is going to want to do in this fight. Now, Caleb Plant is going to want to do is move around him, constantly turning Benavidez, right? You're going to want to turn him, and you're going to want to move to his right and his left. I would talk about Tony Harrison and Zoo fight, and I said that Harrison wanted to move towards Zoo's left hand, right? Move away from the right hand. I don't think that necessarily will work as Benavidez because he keeps a squared stance. He keeps a real squared stance. And when you're squared, that means that either way you're going, he's going to have the necessary stance to create offense going that way or that way. So I don't really think that's the secret to Benavidez. Like we're just going to go towards one side and avoid the other hand. No, I think with him would be actually going both ways, right? Mixing up which way you're going. So you're always creating an exit because David Benavidez doesn't always close the exit off. I've seen points where he does do it, but I've seen points where he really doesn't do it. He kind of just gets squared in front of you and allows you to exit on both sides. What you want him to be doing is guessing though which way you're going to exit, right? You want You want him to not know which way you're going to go and have to guess that, because when he gets planted, he's going to have to throw one shot, and you want him to not be able to start reading what shot and which way you're going to go. So Plant's going to want to come on either side. Now, will Plant be able to do that? I'm not sure. That's the part where it makes me not pick Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant has shown that he kind of always goes to the right side. He goes towards the left side of his opponent, or his left hand, and he also gets stuck there. When he moves to that side, he has a bad habit of hunching over towards that side. And you've seen him do it against Canelo. And once Canelo kind of figured that out, it kind of became very easy work for Canelo, even though maybe it was a competitive fight. But Canelo knew that I don't have to really force you to go one way. You're going to go that way. So now I can cut you off in any way I want, because I know where you're going to end up. And that's, I think, where David Benavidez' training camp, his trainer, all the strategy, you're going to see if they have any of that, because that's a really obvious thing that they can take advantage of, especially with David Benavidez' fast left hook and uppercut on that left side. If Plant starts going towards David Benavidez' left side and he starts hunching over, right, especially with David Benavidez' height and his length and speed, he should really be able to take advantage of that position of Caleb Plant getting stuck. Also, Caleb Plant's offense only really works on that side. When he moves towards the fighter's right side, he really has to reset and set his feet to get his offense going. He can't really work off movement on that side. So he's got to go to one side, right? He's going to be planted there. He's going to get, no pun intended, but he's going to be planted there. He's going to get stuck there. And you're going to move to David Benavidez, who's going to get in on him and put the left uppercut, left hook to the body, left uppercut to the head. And Caleb Plant has a bad habit of turning his head. He turns his head. Gives him the back of his head. And I do believe that will be a factor in this fight. Now, Canelo was shorter, so he's not really coming down from that angle to really take advantage of that. But David Benavidez is. He's going to come down with a heavy right hand. And Caleb Plant, if he turns his head, we might get a little bit of controversy in this on whether that's an illegal shot or not, because Plant's the one turning his head. To me, it's not an illegal shot. If you turn your head and you get hit there, then that's on you. That's not on the fighter. He's just throwing punches, and you are turning your head to get hit there. But Caleb Plant gets stuck on that side. What Caleb Plant wants to do is exit both ways, keep Benavidez turning, and when he you turn him quick, you're set and ready to attack him. Now, you don't want to get greedy with David Benavidez, right? Because he's not the best counterpuncher, but he will flurry with you. And what you want to do is place your shots and get back to moving. Get him frustrated. Now, we've never seen David Benavidez really in with top-level competition, so this will be the first time we've seen it. But another thing is we've never really seen with someone that could fight defensively and move. And if David Benavidez, who is already, really does not like Plant, is really going in here going to be look to take out a lot of aggression. And if he's missing a lot early, we don't know if he can stick to a strategy and stay steady and not get tired, right, by missing and getting frustrated. Because your stamina could really take a dip if you're missing a lot of shots and you're frustrated and you're angry and it's not the performance that you want, or it's not landing the shots and you're just not staying level-headed about it, not sticking to the strategy. You can get really tired, right? And then that would be Plant's opportunity to, when you start dipping, to him really take advantage of those shots. Now, what does Benavidez has to do? Benavidez has to come in punching. Like I say, he doesn't cut off the ring well, but he does work his offense well, right? He does come in. He's not gun shy. Doesn't need things to be perfect to get his offense going. He was willing to take chances with his offense. He needs to come in punching. He needs to come in behind something. So it forces Plant to work. It forces Plant not to be able to set up shots, not to be able to hold his ground, and it forces Plant to stay defensive, right? Another thing is David Benavidez sometimes gets stuck. He gets stuck in a position with his arms up, and he stands stiff, and he doesn't work off of that. And Caleb Plant has to take advantage of that. When he does get Benavidez stuck in a spot with his arms up, with his shelled up, he's got it really buried to the body and buried left hook to the head. You know he does that a lot. David Benavidez has to avoid that. He also avoid the Caleb Plant getting confidence of pushing him back. He's got to push Caleb Plant back consistently and make him work consistently, make him move consistently. Now, we know Caleb Plant gets stuck on the one side. If he gets stuck going to David's left side, he's got to make sure his left uppercut to the head and left hook to the body is consistent. Also, he needs to make sure that he doesn't get wrapped up. Keep a good distance when you're putting pressure, that you're not going to be able to smother your work. You want to be able to work. And especially when Caleb Plant does hold, or when there is a point that you got to be able to work in that. You're longer, you're stronger, you should be stronger. You're the aggressor, you have longer limbs. You should be able to work in that. Make Caleb Plant. You're gonna want to make him work the whole night. You don't want him to feel your pressure the whole night. The David Benavidez has to also work his jab consistently in this fight. It's gonna be all working into something, making Caleb Plant, forcing him to constantly move, forcing him to constantly think, and just really test the stamina that everybody's wondering about in the second half of the fight. And a lot of that could be mental exhaustion, right? Constantly working at a certain level. What it takes someone to fight at that high level, you want to make him do that consistently. You don't want him to be able to take moments off, rounds off, seconds off. You want him working consistently the whole fight. I think David Benavidez has holes in his game, but I think that if he applies steady pressure, right, uses his doesn't get gun shy, but stays controlled, has a game plan, right? Not just punching just to punch, but is punching knowing that eventually he's going to break him down. I don't need to put everything in my shots right away, right? Just putting shots out there, making Plant work will eventually tire him out, and eventually he will be there for my shots. And really, if you know Caleb Plant's going to move to your left side and Plant there, you can really take advantage of the angles that you choose, right? You want to get into that spot and choose those angles to plant your shots and wear him down and really put some big shots on him. You know where he's going to be when he does that. You know the mistakes he makes when he does that. And that's what you want to do in this fight. I'm going to take David Benavidez. And I know, epic cold streak. The smart move, it seems like, is to bet against me right now. I can't blame you. I really can't. This is an epic cold streak. We'll see if it continues. But I'm taking David Benavidez. I'm going to think he's going to take him. He's going to win this fight by stoppage. I'm going to say, similar to Canelo, I think it's a take in the 11th round. I think he's going to break him down, and eventually it will be too much for Caleb Plant, and he will be stopped in this fight. I'm taking David Benavidez. Peace.